Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing for you series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I specifically postponed this review so that I could do it at a time where I had an appropriate shirt and my hair was down. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my back room today, which means we get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Ooh, Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be my, boom, my Central Disorder shirt. It's a cool shirt. But what is Central Disorder? I hear you cry. Well, Central Disorder, they are a local metal, they're a local metal band out of Illinois. I became aware of them a few years ago. I went out to go see a show, and they were one of the opening acts, and I was immediately blown away. Like, it was one of those things, I always like to partake in the local music scene. I'm a big fan of the local music scene. And so whenever I go out to shows, I always try to get there as early as possible, see all the bands perform. And, there's hits, there's misses. And then there's bands like Central Disorder where they were a huge hit. It was just like, instantly I was like, these guys are fucking awesome. So much so, I obviously got some merch. I also got some videos of their performances that I've attended. They're on the channel. Just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're super badass. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why did I need to wait until my hair was down and I was wearing a metal shirt? Well, folks, that's because I'm reviewing, boom, it's Ramune, but not just any Ramune. It is Aggretsuko bloody grapefruit flavor Ramune. Look, it's Aggretsuko. Let's get a little thing for the thing here. I'll try to do my best metal face. Something like that. I don't have a good metal face. I have a good face for like cartoony shit, but yeah, man. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with Ramune, it's a Japanese soda. Quite famously, they have these very unique bottles where you have to go over there and punch in this little marble, and then it pops in the thing. But the main thing that got me on this, and I've reviewed some Ramune on the channel, main thing that got me is the Aggretsuko connection. If you don't know what that is, it's an animated series that was done by the creator of Hello Kitty that is all about a badass death metal panda. And, yeah. On top of that, it's grapefruit flavored Ramune, which I've never heard of. So, let's get the thing for the thing. And so it comes with this little lid thing, and you get it, and you press it on the top, and that's what pops in the marble. It's a lot of effort for a soda, but why not? Yeah. Best thing is to kind of hold it there for a second while the carbonation dispenses a bit. And we take this. And we take this. All right. Not a lot of flavor. It's kind of surprising. Grapefruit flavor, but... It's extremely okay. The one issue I do have with Ramune stuff, and mind you, like, I really like Ramune, especially, if I go out to, like, a Japanese marketplace or something like that, I usually get myself a bottle. They come in fun flavors, they tend to highlight the fruit stuff. The problem I do run into them with them, though, is that, and I think this is just a little bit of a cultural difference, they tend to be much more lightly flavored than, like, American sodas. And mind you, that's not to say, like, because I've reviewed plenty of Japanese soda on the channel, and there are some ones that are properly really punchy. But Ramune, for whatever reason, in my experience, they tend to be lighter on the flavor. And that's definitely the case here. And it's especially a little bit disappointing because, for one thing, again, Grapefruit Ramune, I thought that was a really cool idea. But then the other thing is the fact that you've got Aggretsuko on it. Man, like, this should be the most kick-ass Ramune ever. At the very least, the punchiest, right? The most, like, just vocal in its flavor. But that's not really the case. Like, I've definitely had Ramune that I think has not only spoke to me more, but just had a better punch to it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just very, yeah, you know. I'll say this: positives. It is nice and refreshing, and the flavor itself isn't terrible. There's just not enough of it there. You know, you think grapefruit sodas. You know, you think something like a Fresca. I mean, you know, that'll blow your hair back a little bit. This, I feel a little bit bad that that I went over there and I waited to do it because I was originally going to review this like a couple weeks ago. And I was out in my car and I was going to review it. And then I realized, well, I was just like wearing my work clothes. And I was like, nah, man, it's Aggretsuko. You know, I want to wear a metal shirt and do the whole thing. Um, and then even the grapefruit flavor is like, it's there, but because it's so light, like, yeah. I mean, it's nice. It gives it a little bit of a tanginess, but yeah, I don't know. Mm. Certainly not a bad thing, but I have to admit I hyped it up a little bit in my head. All right, well, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Third question, do I think it represents Aggretsuko well? No, sure, I guess, and no. Tying number one and number three together. It's not bad or anything. Like, I don't dislike it. But again, I've had Ramune flavors that I like a lot more. And I'll admit, you know, part of the reason why I bought this was for the branding, because I think Aggretsuko is pretty badass. It's fine to buy something for some branding. It's better when it delivers. And in this case, I don't feel like it delivered. Like, I'll keep the bottle and everything, you know, because again, just Aggretsuko is cool. It's a cool brand. Um, but in terms of like what it really brings to the table and flavor, like there's ramen I like more, and there's certainly a lot of like Western and other sodas that I would prefer over this. It's not a bad thing, but it's nothing I need to revisit. I mean, especially now that, like I said, I have the bottle, so I'll just keep that. If I'm recommending it, kinda, I guess. Like, it's not a bad thing. It depends on what you want. If you're like me and you're just buying it for the branding, sure. You know, again, it's not a bad drink, so I don't think you're going to be upset with it or anything. But don't expect it to be your favorite drink of all time or anything. Uh, and you know, if you're over there, if you are like a really big Ramune fan, like more than I am, maybe you prefer, you know, that more subtle flavor that they tend to go with these. This isn't a bad one. It's not my favorite, but it's certainly not my least favorite. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of interesting, but it's a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, you know, it depends on what you want out of it. And like I said, I don't think it represents Aggretsuko all that well. It's a nice idea, but it's just I think, you know, if you were gonna, because like I've reviewed some other Aggretsuko stuff. I reviewed some Aggretsuko ghost pepper sauce, and that felt appropriate. That felt like some shit where it was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this. This, I like the idea, but I think they would have had to have amped up that flavor considerably for it to be Aggretsuko for me. But what do I know? Five things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly fantastic rest of your life. That's why I can never be a lead singer. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I couldn't be a lead singer. For one, I can't sing, but I also just don't have a good. I could be like a bassist. That's what people have told me. Like, you look like a bassist. Yeah. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever seen Aggretsuko? Is it a show you enjoy? Is it something you didn't get into? And the thing is, I like it a lot, and I say that I'm a fan, and I am, but at the same time, I've only seen like the first season and part of the second season, and it's not its fault. It's just like I'm so bad at sitting down and watching like series these days. Like most of my viewing time is like YouTube stuff. Like I'll watch documentaries or science stuff or video game shit or whatever. Oh, I really need to watch the rest of it. But let me know how you feel about it. Anyway,